First one being Second Skin. This one has notes of vanilla, white musk, and amber. So at its heart, it's really a musky scent. Because of the base of vanilla and amber, there's a little bit of warmth and a lot of depth in this particular scent. So it sticks a lot closer to the skin. And there's this like soft sweetness or like a touch of innocent to an otherwise kind of common skin scent. This one is not a straight out of the shower freshy type of scent. This one is like a clean and fresh scent, but add a little bit more like coziness and more comforting vibes to it. Sort of like the feeling when you're enveloped in a hug. Like the feeling when you're out in the sun and it's cozy and you feel like there's a growing warmth on your skin. Sort of like that. Next up is Milk Balm. This one has notes of rice milk, orris root, and muskmallow or ambret. So this one is a lot more dense than Second Skin, a little stronger, and it does feel soft and warm as well, but it's more swaddling, almost as if you're cocooned in a hug or like in a blanket. This one's also really, really nice. Next up, we have Love To. This one has notes of watermelon, raspberry, pistachio. It smells very young and loud, very fun, kind of electric almost, and like, you know the feeling when you're very giddy and you have a lot of energy, or like borderline light drunk vibes, like you get a little bit of a buzz. Plus this one kind of reminds me of like Hubba Bubba or like childhood candies or drinks. It's a very candied scent and it's very young, it's very sweet, but it makes me so happy. I don't know, I think it's a watermelon. It just smells so juicy overall. Arguably it's one of their most agaw pansin scents, but I actually really like it. Next up is Almond Lychee. This one has notes of almond, lychee, palm sugar, and the lychee is strong on the atomizer, which is this one, the spray, but when you first spray it, you'll really get a lot of almond, so it's super duper nutty and dense, and it smells very thick and syrupy almost, especially on the opening. And then the lychee on the dry down is a very juicy sort of candied lychee. So upon drying down and after wearing it for a couple hours, it now smells like the syrup has crystallized. That's how I imagine the story of this particular scent. It's actually really fun, and if you enjoy the almond lychee dessert, this might be very nostalgic for you. Next, let's talk about Birthday Cake. This one has notes like tonka bean, marshmallow, vanilla, but I'm also getting a lot of musk. It's sweet throughout, but it is sweeter and stronger on the opening, and then it becomes sort of like a skin scent after. I guess that's where the musk is coming in. On the website, it says it has a strong throw, but I don't know if it's just my skin that eats up everything here. I don't think it's a strong throw. I think it's like a medium to intimate. It's not as fluffy of a cake as I expected. Like in my head, I imagined it to smell a little bit more like whipped cream. There is a lightness and a thinness and a freshness to the scent. Like you think marshmallow, vanilla, and tonka bean, and you think really dense, really warm, really sweet and thick, but it's not. But there's something about this scent that just when you smell it, it's like I imagine the sound "I'm a star" to smell like this. Because you know how when it's your birthday and you're celebrating and everybody's just looking at you and you're like the focus? Sort of like that. Next up, Smoked with Milk. This is my most requested scent out of Imperfect Scents. It has notes of milk, woods, a little bit of honey, and smoke. So it's like a soft sweet, like a lactonic sweet because of the honey and the milk. There's a lot of depth from the woods and the smoke, but it doesn't smell dirty at all. In fact, it smells very comforting, like soft florals. But it's a skin scent. In comparison to Second Skin and Milk Balm, this just feels a little more earthy and not as musky as those two. It's actually really pleasant, really soft. I like it. Though my personal pick for skin scent is probably still Second Skin. Next up is Matcha. I got so excited for this because when I saw it on the website, it said something like made by matcha drinkers. This one has notes of green tea, of nuts. There's like a milky facet to it. There's musks. When you spray it, it's really nutty at the start. Like I don't know if it's pistachio or almond, but it's so peanutty at the start. And then the matcha on the dry down is like a bitter, earthy matcha, like the powder when you like first open it. So like there's a subtle earthy character to the fragrance. And it's interesting because there's a lot of tea scents that are like they're earthy and bitter and then they become sweet. This one is like the other way around. This one is like sweeter at the start and then towards the end it's a little more bitter and the sweetness disappears. So this one dries down to a very soft green tea, almost like the green tea is kind of airy. It's soft, it's intimate. There's like a naturey nuance to it. Towards the end of the scent, it kind of feels like a very flowy dress or like a very flowy fabric. And the last scent is the EDT in Vanilla. This one has notes of bergamot, vanilla bean, neroli, tonka, amber, and like a radiant solar musk. So even if it is a vanilla scent and it has vanilla in the name, it's not a vanilla that's super sweet, super edible. I find it to be a very interesting vanilla and one of the most exciting vanillas I've smelled in a while, because the take is so different. Like, it's a light vanilla, it's a citrus vanilla, and then because of the bergamot and the neroli, there's a bitterness to counteract the sweetness in this. It's not tooth aching and it's not too gourmand. Because it's not too food leaning, there's like a delicate vibe to it, almost like a growing warmth or like a growing depth. Like, it's radiating off of the scent, like it warms up after a while. That's how it sort of develops. So yeah, really interesting scents from Imperfect Scents over here, and I thoroughly enjoyed experiencing these. I definitely want to try out their other stuff, but maybe a little bit slowly, because I have a lot of scents to go through. But I'm really excited for the growth of the brand. Like, this is really promising. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!